Hello, my name is Francesca Hepton, and this is the Kiki H Show, and it's Wednesday, so I'm going to be interviewing a children's author, and this week, dun, 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 it's Victoria Daley, and she is author of Mummy Lives Here, Daddy Lives There, which obviously deals with a very important topic, that of separated living arrangements. Can happen to people who are divorced or to people who have decided that they're simply better off. So hopefully we'll have a good connection tonight and we can hear all about the story from Victoria herself.
Hello.
Hi. So I think we're going to get a few viewers on. They're not on at the moment, but I've had quite a lot of people messaging me because they're looking forward to this. So,
Oh, wow.
and I think it's a great story, but I don't want to dive too into it right now. I
Deep.
just maybe a little build up and just let me know who you are and kind of a little bit about you to begin with.
Absolutely. I'm expecting a few individuals in the live as well, so that'd be great. So just about me,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, you introduced me. My name is Victoria Daley. I'm an educator. So currently what I do, Francesco, is I work at a high school here in Canada where I support individuals with intellectual disability. Oftentimes those individuals exhibit challenging behaviors. And yeah, so that's what I do in a nutshell in terms of my work or for a living. Next to that, as you mentioned, I am an author. This is a new role for me. This is my first
Is
book,
it?
my very, very first book.
Yay!
Pardon me?
The first of
Yeah,
that's great. If you say first, that means there might be more to come.
absolutely. There is lots more on the way. I'm very excited. Actually, book number 2 is already written. So we're just going through the whole illustration process and things like that. Um, so yes, this is,
Excellent.
I'm
Are you
excited to
using
bring you guys
the
along
same?
the journey with me.
Yes. Are you using the same illustrator, Jaden, or are you using a different?
Yes,
Okay, good. You're a good
yes.
team.
I'll be using, yeah, so she's my team. I told her she's locked. She's not going anywhere. So she's going to be with me throughout this journey and whatever other books I do plan on writing. She'll definitely be here on the journey with me.
Yeah, great. Because once you found somebody that you work well with, it makes sense. You both understand the needs that you have, and then
Right.
you go right. So we've got Lee has joined us. So
Hi,
hello, everybody.
everyone.
Can you see on your screen, Victoria, who's joining?
Yep, I could see who's joining as well.
Okay. So you already are in that kind of world of being an educator. You're a
Right.
mother, obviously.
I am.
And
My most important role, I must add.
it is, isn't it? It's the one that comes first.
It is. It is.
Yeah. And so was that what prompted you to write the book? Or was it a build up to that moment of writing the book? Or, because creating something, it requires a lot of energy and drive to actually make you take that action, especially since it's your
Right.
first one.
Right.
Would you like to
Well,
share?
I'll go into a little bit of detail. Two things. First thing, my experience. So I'm a product of a co-parenting relationship. So for me, I've gone through the experience of, and back in my time when I was in school, there wasn't a lot of resources in terms of books and literature was solely based on the nuclear family. So for me, having that experience,
Yeah,
I kind of felt left out oftentimes. So coupled with that,
yeah,
and then being in my own relationship, so like I mentioned, I do have a daughter. Hi, for those of us that's just joining, I do have a daughter, and we are no longer together. So I am now
yeah,
myself in a co-parenting relationship. So
yeah,
in doing so, I mean, my daughter had a lot of questions, and during the time of the breakup, I didn't really know how to answer her. I mean, I was dealing with my own anger, hurt, upset feelings. So I didn't really know how to express to her what was happening, but I knew that, I mean, being a mom and being leading by example, I do need to let her know what's happening. Um, so we had several conversations, and based on the conversation that I had with my daughter, I used that dialogue and helped birth my book. Um, Now, in terms of the conversation,
Welcome.
it was very, hello everyone. Now, in terms of my conversation with my daughter, it was very age appropriate. I just let her know, you know what, you're a lucky girl. You have two of everything.
Yeah, that's how it
I
starts.
stress the
Yeah.
fact that, right. So I just stress the fact that she has two of everything. She's a lucky girl. A lot of kids don't have two homes or don't have two birthday parties. Um, so that's pretty much how the book was birthed. So again, for those of us that just joined, I mentioned my own being a product of a co-parenting relationship, and then of course having my daughter being in a co-parenting relationship myself. So yeah.
So you kind of felt that there was a space out there and a need uh, for not necessarily a tool, but maybe just to show them that somebody else had been through the experience, and the book provides them with a little bit of an insight on how they could
Spy.
deal with that situation. Because when we're actually, because I left my partner with my two children, and you
Okay.
really make that decision with the children in mind. You know,
Absolutely.
side, it's really, really important for other parents to understand that, isn't it? That
It
it's not
is.
a decision that's just made overnight when you've got children.
No, no, not at all. And oftentimes we're so busy as parents caught up in our own feelings that we oftentimes don't pay attention to what our children are experiencing or what they're feeling. So again, that's the main reason, of course, why I also wrote the book, just to kind of encourage that dialogue between parents and their children.
Yeah, because we are focused on ourselves sometimes as parents, because we can be a young parent especially,
Right, right.
and we are not aware of the impact it's going to have on the child.
On our
And
children, right.
and you don't know how to talk to them necessarily. I think what you've just said is brilliant, because they don't need to know all the mess behind the scenes.
No, no,
As long as,
age appropriate.
yeah, age appropriate is fantastic. Just as long as what's coming out of your mouth and your actions is positive, then
Right.
they don't have all the emotional turmoil, do they?
No, not at all. And I think it's we just have to practice being transparent. I
Yeah.
think once we master that, just being honest and open. And again, I can't stress enough, the book is to encourage dialogue, even if you're not in a co-parenting relationship. I think it's important to educate your children so they're aware of the different family structures that are out there. That way, they're not like myself, feeling left out, or that they don't fit in, and things like that. Sorry, there's a comment here.
Yeah, Unicorn Didi has said age appropriate was a successful tool in my parenting bag, and it really is.
Yes.
For me, I found that I anticipated the questions my children were going to ask when they were older. So now they're 18, 19. I give them a
Oh wow.
completely different dialogue to the one when
Right.
they were 3. Yeah.
Right.
Because
And
to
to
be
that, if I
they don't really care what happened. They just want to know that everything's going to be
know,
okay.
okay, and they just want to be happy and feel loved, and
Yeah.
regardless of what the situation is going on. So yeah, that's pretty much how the book was birthed.
Right, I'm going
Yeah.
to throw a question in that I hadn't got planned for you, but I think it's appropriate now. What
Sure.
changed in your life after writing the book? What kind of things
Good.
started to happen to you after writing the book? What were you doing maybe differently? What was
So
coming to you in your life?
good question. For me, I think while I was going through the whole separation breakup, um, I was a mess, I'll be honest. I was in my
Yeah,
feelings and my emotions, trying to be strong, trying not to show my feelings, my true emotion. But I think after writing and publishing my book, I
yeah,
think it was a sense of healing for me. I think it was very therapeutic. I think I healed because of the book. I think if it wasn't for the book, I wouldn't be in the place of now. So now I feel like I'm at peace um, in terms of my co-parenting relationship. I mean, it's not perfect. We're human. But in terms of our
but
communication and things like that, yeah, I think it's very peaceful. The communication's great. Yeah, I think it brought healing for me. I think that's the best way to describe it. I think once I wrote the book, I think it healed. And in order for me to heal, in order for my daughter to heal, I have to heal. So I think it was important for me
Yes,
to do that.
that's fantastic. That's a fantastic way of putting it. I think because when you create a book, you might say, well, it's a children's book, so how can that be that cathartic experience of healing? But what you
Right,
do is you channel your energy into creating something positive. And that is a
right,
huge part of the process. And you also put into place how you were feeling and you put it into a medium that can be conveyed to other people. And you're
right,
helping other people.
right.
Ultimately is what you wanted to do. I presume that's the impact that you wanted to make.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So leave that impact, encourage that conversation. Like I said, the book is written from a child's perspective too. So I think you get a different side of the co-parenting things. You could actually see what the child's feeling and how they're feeling. Because like I said, the conversation is based on the dialogue that I had with my daughter at the time. And I just kind of put that dialogue right into the manuscript. So
And that would be very useful in as a parenting resource. Have you had anybody approach you from local schools or local community centres to ask you to present your book? Because if you
I
haven't,
have.
I'm going to
So being
start
an
putting you
educator,
forwards.
I have.
Hi,
I mean, I'm open
Sandy.
for the offer. Thank you. But
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
have. So me being an educator myself, I do have, I'm open to different resources in the school and things like that. Right now, it is actually in the Central Library in Mississauga. So currently, I mean, it's able to be signed out. Um, I'm still kind of on a high from that. It's really exciting for me. But yeah, so it's definitely out there. I have been tapping into different resources and things like that. Hi, my mom just joined the live.
Yes. She's got to be proud of you.
Thanks.
Um, without giving too much away, what is going to be the next one? What are your next steps? Is this actually continuing in the same vein, or do you want to keep it a secret? Because that's fine if you want to keep it a secret.
Absolutely. So no, I could definitely share. So Mia's world, the
Okay.
character's name is Mia. And in Mia's world, she enjoys or experiences the joys of both parents and, living in two separate homes and still loving her no matter where she is.
Yeah.
The Mia's world, what we'll do is have a series and follow the character in age.
Yeah.
So the next book, yes, because co-parenting changes as you get older, right? As you mentioned earlier with your sons, as you get older, there's different challenges, different experiences. So I just want to kind of tap into that as the character gets older and to kind of touch on or speak to different age groups. Right now, this book, Mommy Lives Here and Daddy Lives There, it is for the first level age readers. But like I said, as she gets older, it's going to get more in depth, more challenges and things like that. So I do plan on following the character in age. The second book that's already written, the manuscript's done, it's being illustrated right now. That's called Mia Turns 5, Birthday Party at Daddy's House. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that.
Love it.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. You see, I'm not the only one who loves it. I I actually fully agree with that because that's what I did with my Kiki books. That you start with them when they were young, and then because they
Right,
become attached to that character, I think as an author, it's a
right.
fantastic gift to give readers so they can grow up with that character.
Exactly.
That's what,
Exactly.
so is that why
And
you
and you
go ahead?
say that again?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're chipping out. Sorry.
Okay, no, so that I once what I was saying is that they love your character, and so what you're doing as an author is giving them that gift of being able to grow up with that
Right,
character. It's
right,
fantastic.
right. And follow them. Exactly. And as she gets older, different people could relate, right, to different
Yeah.
situations or experiences that she's experiencing. So, yeah, it's great.
And I
I look
wanted,
forward to taking you guys along the journey with me.
and does she have any particular friends or tools that she can use along the way, or is it simply a dialogue between Mia and her mother and father, or are there other
It's
things that elements that come
as 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 I continue to write, there'll be different resources and elements added. But as of right now, it's just strictly dialogue between the two parents. And this is real life. So might I add, as my daughter Paige experiences different situations in her life, I'll continue to write books to
Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. And do you think your daughter might start writing a book?
Hopefully, she's full of personality. I don't know what she's gonna do, but she's full of personality. She's a character in herself. So I'm not sure. Hopefully, we'll see.
You know, what a wonderful role model you are. She might.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I can see on your page that you've got the masks with Mia's World. That's fantastic.
I
Have
do.
you, and do you have anything else that you want to share with everybody that's online now?
I have lots of things in mind. So my every day, I mean, my wheels are turning every day. I'm coming up with new ideas. My resource, I have a huge support system. My sisters, my family, my friends, my support system is huge. A lot of them are in the live right now. So every day I'm either messaging them, oh my God, how about this idea? Oh my gosh, I have this idea. So my wheels are always turning. In fact, the next, I'm thinking of doing puzzles. So I have puzzles on the way, just using like the title page and creating a puzzle out of it. So that's on the way alongside some book bands. So bookmarks, but instead of bookmarks, because they often slide out the page, we're going to do some book bands. So yeah, a few things that I'm working on, a few things.
Okay, and are you going to share it all with us on your page? Are we going to be able to find out everything from there?
Yeah, so you can either follow all on my social media feed, so either Instagram or Facebook. I'll continue to update you guys, or on my website, which is www.miasworld.com. And there you can find masks, puzzles, the next steps. I just thought, as of right now, because we're in COVID, mask was a perfect idea, just to kind of tap in there into that market. So yeah.
But it keeps, what it does is it keeps that message at the forefront of people's minds. And on that note, is there anything that you would want to say to parents right now, male or female, who might be thinking of separating because everybody's under a lot of stress now? Any kind of reassurance or maybe any advice to parents who have just split up, and just any tips that you would give from the heart, perhaps? Maybe your top one. There we go. Putting you on the spot.
That's tough. I would just say to live in your truth. Live in your truth and stand by that.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I could say. Live in your truth, stand by it, and being happy is the most important thing. And you have to find your happiness. No one else can find that for you. So whether it would be, writing or something you enjoy doing, I think this is a perfect time now that we're in COVID. It's a perfect time to tap in to, tapping in, settling down, using that time to kind of, find yourself, find that happiness. Also just to touch back on the children for a second, during this time, it's a perfect time to engage with your children. In terms of dialogue, in terms of what's happening, be transparent, not because, and again, be age appropriate. So I understand some people have, babies and things like that. You're not going to explain to a 1-year-old that we're separating. I get it. But be age appropriate. I think we need to be open. I think oftentimes we brush these topics under the rug, and it causes challenges for our children later on, and we don't know that. So I think it's really important, especially now that it's downtime, we have the time to kind of tap in there. Sorry, there's a question. I would love to get this book for my daughter. We are going through this currently, but very lacking in co-parenting. So it takes time. I'm human, I'll be honest. Even now, although we are positively co-parenting, it's still challenging sometimes. But my biggest thing is put the child first. Once you put your needs kind of second and put the child first, everything else will kind of fall into place. That's the biggest thing I could say, Unicorn. And my book is available online, so feel free to go on Amazon and order that. But that's the biggest advice I could give you, Unicorn, is just to put the child's needs first. And once you do that, everything else will kind of fall into place.
Yeah, all the mess that's going on between you and your partner, that has to kind of just stay away from the child. And also you have to
Yeah,
yourself, don't you? Especially now.
you
That's
do. I was gonna say, and although we have to kind of put that to a side, it doesn't mean we ignore what we're feeling either, because then that could also be an issue,
yeah,
right? So just having to find that balance, and I think now is the perfect time that we're in COVID to do that.
yeah. Yeah, and not to fall foul of feeling guilty as well. You know, because sometimes when
No, no.
yeah, and you know, if you've made that decision, it's because something wasn't working. And don't go down that rabbit hole of, oh, what if I'd have done this or what if I'd have done
Yeah.
that? The important thing is exactly how you said it, live in your truth and be honest.
Hmm.
Be
Being
honest.
transparent, that's what it's about, right? Exactly.
Yeah, yourself.
And even for the parents that are not in the co-parenting relationship, but just being open to your child and explaining that it's not only the nuclear family that exists, there's other families and other dynamics, and education piece too is big.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I got
Thank
divorced,
you.
it was still not completely the norm. But now it's really quite prevalent. You know, 1 in 3 people in the UK are getting divorced. So, you know, it's not so
Wow.
strange
Yeah.
now. But
Right.
we're not, you know, the parents tend to get in the way a lot, don't they, with their fighting.
We do.
So I think your book is like a sunshine on the horizon for people to look at
Thank
and dip
you.
into.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So I wish you every success with it. If there's, I'm not going to ask you what the difficult part was of your journey because I think we just got too much positivity going on here.
No, I mean,
So
and I'm open.
I'm not,
Actually,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm open. I have no problem explaining. My only challenge, I think, with this whole process is just doing this, the vulnerability piece. So opening up and being transparent. I think that's my biggest challenge.
Okay, well you do
Yeah.
it well.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
I wouldn't have known. I mean, it is hard, and also it's hard to sometimes appreciate the fact that what you've created is wanted by other
Sorry.
people, and actually help people. And it's probably glitching, isn't it? Sorry, but
Yeah, that's
sometimes
okay.
it's it's um it's amazing how much help you can be to other people when you thought,
Right.
you know, you were stuck somewhere going through a
It's true.
negative, and suddenly you're this ray of hope.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's See, if you hadn't have done it, all these
You're
lovely
right. Thank you,
people.
Francesca. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so everybody can get the book on Amazon,
Yes, it's
and
available on
we are
Amazon.
eagerly waiting, and then
Thank
we're
you.
eagerly awaiting me as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was it
Stay tuned. There's a
was it
lot to
birthday?
come. Yeah,
It
so
was your
it's Mia
birthday
turns
at
5. Yeah, Mia turns 5, birthday party at Daddy's house.
Okay,
Yeah, so it's
okay.
exciting. It's exciting.
Lovely to meet you. Really lovely to meet you,
Thank
and I
you.
look
Thank
forward
you
to
for having
continuing hearing
me.
your story.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, and
And thanks
I'll
everyone
share
for joining.
you. Okay.
Okay.
Sandy says buck up. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Okay, bye guys. Thank you.
Bye, Victoria.